So the other cool thing about Visual Studio Code is that it allows you to open a terminal from within this window. A terminal is something that every computer has. On Macs, it's literally called terminal. You can open it like so. And these two things, so when I'm saying these two things, I'm referring to this terminal app and the terminal here. They're actually the same exact application. You're just accessing it from two different entry points. So in the terminal case here, you're using the terminal app to see it. In Visual Studio's case, you're using the drop-down option to create a new terminal. So these are two different terminal instances. I'm going to delete that. The terminal can do a lot of interesting things. For example, it allows you to see all the things that are on your working directory. So where VS Code is setting the terminal up, you can see my desktop, my documents, my downloads. If we were to go into my downloads folder and list the items there, we would see, oh, okay, there are these two items in my downloads folder. We can verify that by literally going into my downloads folder like so, and you can see those two things. But besides local folder and file management, it's actually quite helpful for when you are committing code back and forth to GitHub. I'll pause here because it will make more sense when we are actually going ahead and setting up your GitHub account, but that was just a little something I wanted to show. Let's now move on to the step of setting up your coding assistants. So you might notice on the left-hand side that there are these little buttons. This is the relevant one, so it is called extensions. You click on it like so, and it gives you basically a marketplace where you can browse a bunch of different extensions that are available to you. I believe you can also access it through the view, so you could hit view and extensions and it will pop this up. So let's say you were in your file explorer. If you went to view and then hit extensions, it would take you back here. You can also click this button like we said. And we are going to set up both Github Copilot and we are going to set up Claude Code. And the reason why we're going to do both is just to give optionality so you can see the different types of coding assistants available to you. So with Github Copilot, you would just search and it pops up and you can say, okay, I'm going to install it. Once you hit install, it just automatically gets going. And you'll see here, all GitHub Copilot functionality is now being served from the GitHub Copilot chat extension. So what you can also do is look at the GitHub Copilot chat extension. I believe I previously installed this, so that might be showing as not yet installed for you. If that's the case, I recommend that you hit install. It's a little bit confusing, but basically there are two different extensions available to access GitHub Copilot chat. I recommend you set up both. Okay. We are going to now download Claude. So I'm going to search for Claude and we're going to see Claude Code for VS Code and I am going to hit install. I do trust the publisher of Anthropic and so I'm going to install it like so. Okay, so similar to before, we are now seeing a window pop up that says get started with Claude Code. We're going to run through the setup for Claude Code first, and then after that, we can run through the setup for GitHub Copilot. So this is just a little explanation that is kind of telling you a little bit about what Claude Code can do. And then it's encouraging you to open Claude Code. And then it's going to show you to chat, and then you can access past conversations. So I'm going to close out of the extensions tab by just going back to Explorer and then just double clicking on it to make it go away. So, and I'm going to close these windows just because I think it's a little bit busy. So there's two different ways to access these coding assistants. With Claude, you will always have this little orange button here. If you don't see the orange button, that means that your extension didn't download properly. Once again, if you have questions there, leave a comment in the main school thread and then I'll get back to you on that. But hopefully you see this. You click it and it will open up for you. It is going to ask you to set up a subscription. So either you have a Claude AI subscription, you either have an Anthropic console account, or perhaps you have a third-party provider. I recommend you hit the orange button. It's going to tell you to do a pop-up. So you're going to be presented with this email screen here. You will go ahead and enter your email and then hit continue with email. I'm going to pause and do that off screen, and then we'll return shortly. So as you can see, in order to use Claude Code within Visual Studio Code, you do need to upgrade to Claude Max or Pro. So you'll hit that button. It will load the tier options. For the use cases of this project, I recommend just starting with the Pro. Obviously, I wish that they offered Claude Code for free, but they don't do that. So we have to choose between the Pro and the Max. The Max is just too expensive and I think not worth it for this initial project. And even though they do offer a yearly plan, since I'm guessing you're here at this video because you're dipping your toe into vibe coding and getting started, I recommend just starting with the monthly. And what you can also do is that once you sign up for the Pro plan here, and after you fill out your information, you can then go ahead and cancel the subscription. And so what that allows you to do is that you'll have access to it for the full month, but canceling the subscription basically prevents the auto renew from happening. So once again, I'm going to pause. I'll fill out my billing information and complete the order. Not sure why that reloaded, but I'll complete the billing information and the order, and then I'll go back and show you how to cancel the auto renew. So once you complete your billing information, you should see a view like this. Claude Code would like to connect to your Claude chat account. If you don't see that view after you complete your billing, you can go back to the chat extension and copy and paste this URL into your web browser, and it will redirect you to this. So then you go ahead and hit authorize. And so this connection, you can copy the code. This is going to be what you can do to get set up. Great. So now we're all set up and we have Claude Code ready to go. Obviously, this will be a value that you can actually see, but I'm going to blur it out for the purposes of this video. One quick way you can verify it's working is just say, "Hi, Claude." And you can ask it something like, "What can you help me do?" But yeah, as long as you're seeing responses back, that means that your setup is good to go. So in terms of canceling your subscription, you can go to Claude.ai. It'll take you here. Then you go to your account, settings, billing, and then here you can hit adjust plan. For me, I subscribed actually through my mobile phone. I was having some issues online with my web portal, but I'm guessing you probably went through it through the web portal. So in place of subscribe via iOS app, you would have the ability to cancel your plan. And then once you hit cancel, it will say a pop-up that says something to the effect of you will have access for the rest of the month. So that's all you need to do to prevent the auto renew.